Well, it's that time of the year when many people travel home for the festive season. Many use long-distance taxis. Taxi drivers must ensure compliance with COVID-19 protocols. So, what are the repercussions if they do not? To discuss this, we're joined by Gauteng Transport MEC, that's Mr. Jacob Mamabolo. Mr. Mamabolo, thank you for your time and a warm good morning to you. I mean, that's the big question. Are taxis complying with COVID-19 regulations, particularly at this time?
Well, firstly, good morning to you, to all the viewers, and thanks for giving me this opportunity. I've had the opportunity to participate in several roadblocks and did some site inspections and checks. With respect to public transport, and in particular the taxi industry, as you have asked, on the roadblocks, we have been checking compliance with road safety, and we did have cases where there was no compliance with road safety laws. And we also checked, because remember this year we also have a problem of COVID-19 compliance. So we checked wearing of masks, are people being sanitized? And in general, it was found that the levels of compliance with COVID-19 regulations, particularly in the taxi industry, I can give an example. On Saturday morning, we stopped in 2 hours about 181 public transport vehicles, mainly taxis. We never had an issue of people being sanitized, wearing masks, and also opening of windows. The challenge that we observed were with the long distance buses in the Bosman taxi rank in the city of Tshwane, and also and even worse in the city of Joburg Park Station. That's where we had some challenges, but otherwise the taxi industry, comparatively speaking, I think has done fairly well.
Yeah. In terms of unroadworthy vehicles, has that posed a challenge? I mean, I personally was driving to Polokwane on Saturday morning, and there seemed to have been, some taxis, some buses, some vans, which carried an overload of, different things, whether it's beds, whether it's, chairs, but also being equally unroadworthy. Have you seen or heard any reports of that nature posing a concern to the department?
Yeah, if you go into Limpopo on a Saturday morning, you'll have definitely passed our roadblocks. Not sure what time it passed. But let me confirm to the viewers that one of the most worrying factors on the road is that the delivery vehicles that are pulling trailers that you can clearly see, they are overloaded and they pose a big risk on the road. In terms of statistics, the biggest culprit on the road are privately owned vehicles. That's what account for carnage on the road. But it's followed by these light delivery vehicles, including the ones that you have referred to. And we pulled a lot of them off the road, and I checked where they were going, mainly going to Zimbabwe. And so that was a big problem. We had a bus that was clearly not roadworthy. Firstly, it didn't have wipers. It had a full load, and the wipers were not working. Why in a rainy season? The engine was exposed. The window on the driver's side was completely broken. And so we actually, and it didn't even have a hooter. We tried to check, we asked them to hoot, it was completely not working. So that was also pulled off the roads. There were two taxis. There was a taxi that did not have the disc, was apparently fraudulent, and the number plates. But in general, I think these delivery vehicles, the ones that are pulling trailers long distance, I think they are becoming really a big problem on our road. And I'm happy that law enforcement does not hesitate in the observations I've made to pull them off the road and to disengage them, to demobilize them.
And just
So
MEC,
to that
because
extent,
we're running out of time, if I may
commend.
just jump in there. I mean, what are the consequences? Speaking of law enforcement, should you be found to have an unroadworthy vehicle? Should you be found to not complying with regulations? What are the consequences there?
Well, as I was saying, that with particularly the observations I've made, and I can confirm this, the law enforcement agencies are doing a wonderful job. They ground the vehicle, they put it off the road. If it is of such a nature that the risk is that it shouldn't be allowed to proceed. And I've clearly seen that a bus was stopped, the owner had to bring another bus. And so people are given traffic fines, and you'll know that the RTMC this year had said if you don't pay your traffic fines, you're going to be in trouble moving around. So the law enforcement agencies, and I think we must give credit where it is due, they are doing a wonderful job under extremely difficult conditions, and I've seen them imposing sanctions on non-compliance.
All right, this is where we leave our conversation. Thank you so much. The MEC of Transport in Gauteng, Mr. Jacob Mamabolo.